Hello everybody. It's been a second since I last had a Dark Souls challenge run for you. Not too long ago, I was watching a Dark Souls weapon tier list video, and after looking around for a while, I noticed something. A common sentiment around the community seems to be that the Astora Straight Sword sucks mad ass. This gave me an idea of running a challenge run for it. I thought a straight run with it wouldn't be much of a challenge, so I added a few extra rules, and this, I would come to realize, was a huge mistake. Here are the rules. All damage must come from the Astora Straight Sword. No glitches or exploits, no leveling besides Faith up to 60, and after that I can only dump into Resistance. All bosses must be killed or at least attempted, and the challenge starts after leaving the asylum. Last one's obvious since we can't have the Astora Straight Sword from the start without spawning it in. You might be noticing in the background my character creation. After checking the wiki, I realized that I'd need at least 10 in strength and dexterity to be able to wield a sword, and as much health as I could for survival. So I chose the knight with the master key as the starting gift, since I absolutely need it to go get the sword at the start of the run. We strip to pretend like we know what we're doing, when actually we don't, but then just proceed through the asylum like normal. Just gotta open the very slow door, grab our broadsword, speak to Oscar really quickly, and then proceed to go and kill the asylum demon. After failing to actually do a jump attack for the plunge, we just plunge him like normal and start walking at him until he is dead. It's not a complicated fight at all, we already know it very well. It's very easy, he's fat, he's slow, and we have a weapon, and that's pretty much all we need for it. We open the big pilgrim's door, and then just rush into the cutscene. Once in Firelink, I collected a few goodies, and most importantly, the sword. Ah, look at that beauty. And let's not forget the Firekeeper soul. A couple more goodies and we test the damage with this Black Knight. Seems good. He died, by the way. With that out of the way, we'll level up a bit to be able to use the sword properly and pick up some Twinkling Titanite and the Havel's Ring for later. A quick level up of our weapon, and we are now ready to face off against our first boss of the run. By now we have a +3 Twinkling Titanite weapon, so as you can see, we don't really have any trouble with them at all. I did sweat it a bit at the end after I left the first one with a sliver of health before killing the second one, but eventually we got it. With that, we get to ring the first Bell of Awakening, grab the basement key, just because we'll need it, and promptly return to the asylum to face against Asylum Demon Numero 2. Our damage is straight ass, but its moveset is super easy, and while it takes a while to kill, it's not hard to do. This one was truly death by 1,000 cuts. I wouldn't be surprised if I was close to 1,000 cuts with that. Don't forget the doll. Oh no, Lautrec. What a tragedy. On our way to the Moonlight Butterfly, we pick up the Elite Knight set, the best set of them all. We don't quite have enough damage for 2 cycle, but with 3 cycle the butterfly, no problem. It's a boring fight, but what can I say? It's an easy fight as well. I did use a lot of flasks, but because I suck at dodging. With the moss that we collected from the demonic foliage, we return once more to the asylum to trade with Snuggly for some extra twinkling titties. 1 for each color, and 2 for the blooming one. I didn't actually forget about Taurus, and might as well kill it now before I really do forget him. The plunge nearly one-shots him, and that's that. Capra, on the other hand, is a much more annoying fight. First of all, you have to get past everybody, 3 people in a, well, not people, but you get the idea, and all cramped in the same space. Then Capra comes in for a hug and proceeds to jump attack and hit me in the ledge that I'm supposed to be safe at. Other than that, the fight is easy. He's not really difficult to kill at all. Down in Blighttown, we grab the Firekeeper soul now that Lautrec is, well, out of the picture, and proceed to the TD Spider. Believe it or not, I still have plenty of trouble with this boss. I'm terrible at dealing with the lava pools, and on top of that, we have pretty low damage output. Case in point with the lava pools, you know. What can I say? I just suck at this game, but gotta keep playing it. She also loves hugs, and I'm afraid of women, so yeah, that didn't work out as well as I expected it to. The next try, I took it a lot safer, a lot slower, trying to get a few puck shots and just move around, weave in and out, hug the armpit, and you know how it is. At the end of the day, once you know the moveset, it's fine, I guess. We get her on the next try, and finally, ring of the bell. Let's get us to 38 faith, and now we'll continue with the family killing by going after her brother. Unfortunately, Sisless decides to not be terribly cooperative today, and I realize that I might have struggled with this fight again. For some reason, I always have troubles with Ceaseless, and I don't know why. I mean, I even waited until he detached his arm and it still didn't work. We run back to the start of the fight to prompt him to detach his arm, and with that, it's just about letting him back to the fog gate. Hopefully successfully this time around. Yeah, much better. From there on out, it's really easy to just hack at any part of him. Actually, I was about to say any of his limbs, but I'm not sure if that shit is a limb. He can die from it, but that's it. With both bells rung, it's time for Sense. I have no reason to free Logan, but I still did. I just like having the snake break the wall, I don't know. Nothing else is important this time, so we book it straight to the goal. Just have to get the bonfire, the hidden bonfire, that in my opinion shouldn't be hidden, but you know how it is, just Dark Souls kind of thing. As for the golem, he's not a fairly complicated fight, and I really do want to get him down from the bridge. I just straight start hacking at the legs as much as I can, but honestly, I didn't have enough damage to get him down until the very end when I started to play a lot more aggressively, and when I managed to get him down from his, like, fall down, he didn't fall down, like he just kind of sit down, but we got the wonky animation after he dies, so that's that. Now the rafters are, well, you know, they're rafters. I prefer not to jump in here because despite the fact that I can do it and I've done it before, I don't know, it's just, I tend to clench my butt cheeks so hard whenever I try to do it. I just decided to walk it this time around. As for the archers, I did manage to get them on my first try. Even though the parry was kinda botched, I still managed to just get him to fall down, and that's it. Nothing too complicated. Havel's armor is a mouse tool that'll help us later, so we pick it up before going forward. Well, not before failing to jump over a railing an embarrassing number of times. Finally! God. We upgrade our weapon fully and get ready for Ornstein and Smoke. The idea is the same as usual, just focus on Ornstein and then deal with Super Smoke. But that doesn't mean we don't die a couple of times. Look at this shit. Literally 1 HP. And I died for checking it on the status menu. After that death, I decided to flirt with the idea of killing Smo first, and surprisingly, it went swimmingly well. The first time I tried it, I managed to get him down fairly quickly, I would say. It wasn't particularly difficult to do so. I did feel like I was dealing a lot more damage to him than I did in Ornstein because, you know, Ornstein does have better defenses, but I still died really easily in the second phase. After that, I decided to try again, just one more time. It didn't go well, so eventually I just decided to go back to killing Ornstein first and do the usual. I still died a few more times, but eventually I did manage to get it, and once we're in phase 2 with Smoke, that's a lot easier. We get the Lord Vessel from the so-called demonetization goddess. With the Lord Vessel in hand, we go down to kill the Hydra and free Dust for later. I managed to get hit by this attack several times because I suck at dodging, and then are left with just this one head that's horrible to kill. But after lining up properly, we did manage to get it. After acquiring the pendant, I decided to proceed down the archives because Sith is quite resistant to magic damage, so I'd rather just get it out of the way first. I knew that I was gonna get cursed here, so I used a rare Ring of Sacrifice. You know, I'm not that stupid as much as I look like it. We also turn off the sweet music and get the key, which, yeah, I survived after getting. Don't worry about it. And then just proceed through the archives like normal, quickly running through it, opening the shortcut, and getting the bonfire to, you know, proceed through the area. Running through the Crystal Cave is really easy. I said it's really easy. And make it to the boss. Sith's fight is easy as long as you know how to cycle him through his attacks. Just gotta go in, get a couple of hits in, wait until he's about to do the close attack or the explosion, run away, come back in, couple more attacks, he attacks far, get close to him. Once he starts attacking close or does the explosion, once again run away. You know the drill. It's really easy, it's not complicated. He might be resistant to magic, but that's not enough. Takes a minute, but he dies. Before moving forward anymore, I decided to finish cleaning up Anor Londo so I wouldn't have to come back. That means that the Painted World is next. We book it past everything to unlock the shortcut. Die to the Spinning Tonys. Turn the contraction. And commit the worst sin we could commit by attacking the dragon waifu. Priscilla is not particularly a difficult fight, and while her veil is a little bit annoying, it's not difficult to break, and thankfully this weapon can do it, because I've had runs where I couldn't break her poise and it was a lot more of an annoying fight. Not a problem with this weapon, and her souls finally get us to 60 faith. The femboy is next, and here we clearly see the damage dropping off. We needed a total of 6 cycles to dispatch him. I know that fighting him is not difficult, but it is annoying when I have to run after him 6 times. just to get him done. Like, this fight usually takes 2 or 3 cycles for most weapons, so yeah, the damage is dropping off a lot. The Nidus, though, takes only 2 parries. So long. Given that we have a divine weapon, I decided to go to the catacombs next and miss the drop by accident because of course I did. Thankfully, second try is the charm and we get it no problem. Pinwheel is next, and despite how easy of a boss he is, it still takes me a bit longer than I would have liked. Because of this, I knew that it was gonna take longer, so I proceeded to kill the first clone and then just go ham with it and just, you know, corner him as much as I could, and when he teleported, just went back to it. That's it. Easy fight. We proceed through the tomb, getting the first bonfire, the skull lantern, and getting fucking jumped at the second bonfire. You have any idea how annoying this was? I couldn't even rest at it. So I had to respawn in the upper bonfire and head down again. After a short jog, we make it to Nito, and since we have a divine weapon, I didn't even bother getting more flasks. As always, dropping here is a little bit annoying. I mean, you have to waste a heal or just, you know, risk it. I prefer not to risk it if I can, so I just healed immediately. But thankfully, since I have a divine weapon, as I said, I can deal with the Tonys really easily. And now I don't have to care about them anymore. Unless I were to wake up the big ones, but, you know, that can be easily avoided by just not walking into them. Other than that, Nito has nothing really too complicated to avoid. If anything, maybe the miasma attack could be a problem, but you can really block it if you use your shield. It's not that complicated, and mostly just run away. Not a hard fight at all, especially with a divine weapon. Time for the third Lord Soul. First we take the rockworm down and then light the fuck you doing down here, dude? Anyways. Asylum Demon 3.0 is next, and the fight is the same as the last two, but with more fire. I really don't know what to say about it. I mean, it is what it is. We all know what it is. I don't think there's a point speaking about what it is. It just is. First try like nothing happened. I don't want to say that Centipede Demon was harder, but honestly, he wasn't. Died first try as well, and the closest I was to death was when I jumped over the lava and burned my toes. I am surprised that a boss this late doesn't deal more damage. I mean, I don't know how I never have trouble with this guy. He really doesn't do much. I don't know. Down in brightness over 9,000, we open... I said open. Third time's the... Fuck! I think it's obvious I usually take the shortcut of the Chaos Covenant. With the bonfire lit, we book it to the bed of Chaos, doing a brief stop to kill her daughter. After popping both balls, we absolutely didn't get pushed down by the fucking beard and skewered the stupid bug. One Lord Soul left, and for it we navigate New Lundo and speak with Ingward, since we can't deal range damage with this sword. We drain the water and then remember that we don't have the ring yet. Thankfully, we don't need Andrew anymore, and I'm not about to farm souls for this greedy fucker. God, Grandpa's got hands. And he throws them hard. I didn't even know that you could parry him. Or did I? I don't know. I feel like I've parried him before, but I'm not really sure. Not 100%. Unfortunately, the pup needs to go. I normally try to kill them as fast as possible because it actually does hurt to kill them so slowly. But with our damage output, yeah, I did have to see him limp, and that just hurt so much. Sorry, sweet pupper. I wish it wasn't this way. Now that the water is drained, we can just drop here for an easy boss run back. Just gotta be careful about this particular Dark Wraith, but normally parrying is super easy, so... And got him! Remember the Havels we picked? Well, it's time to shine. We all know that the Kings is just a DPS race, so we actually do need as much protection as we want, specifically with how little health we have right now. So we change all of our armor, change into the ring, give a quick fat roll to check. All good. Let's drop down. Whee! Well, that was not as long as I expected it. But well, we started not so great, receiving a couple of hits, and I realized that despite having the Havel's armor, we are still getting beat quite easily, unless we get hit by the hilt of the sword. But that doesn't mean that the fight ends nicely. Actually, we died on that attempt, and several subsequent attempts as well. I mean, it is very clear that we do not have the damage right now for this. We clearly don't have the damage, so for now let's leave a pin in that and come back later when I've thought of something. For the time being, let's go into the DLC and see what's up. Sanctuary Guardian was supposed to be easy, were it not for my weapon breaking. But still, my damage is severely lacking. So at this point, it doesn't make sense to keep putting it in the back burner. So, I need power within. A quick trip to Blighttown and another to Free Laurentius, and we now have a Flame of the Great Swamp. That being said, let's see if there's enough to defeat the 4 kings. Once again, just changing back all of our armor into Havels. You know the drill. It's been like 30 seconds since I last told you. Don't pretend you don't know. Okay, let's drop down. Well, that was... yeah, moving on. Damage is clearly better, but it does still take a couple of tries to get it done. And that's just because, honestly, I suck. Let's not beat around the bush. You also thought I was gonna hit myself, didn't you? I definitely did. Havel's armor definitely helps here. And I just chop, chop, chop until they die. Just keep attacking as frequently as you can, wasting all of the stamina. This is a DPS race, nothing more. So yeah, I just stopped to heal whenever I needed to, and other than that, just keep swinging again and again and again. Every now and then I forgot that I'm not supposed to be blocking, just tanking the damage, so I got my stance broken a couple of times, but at the end it was fine. I did get the 5th king to appear, but thankfully it was not a problem. Now back to the Guardian. Kills me another time, but with some patience, we kill it rather quickly. Obviously, power within didn't last the entire fight, but it did help to speed it up. Or at least it would have helped if I had used it, but to be honest, I didn't feel like I needed to. I was just trying to remember all of its patterns, get the timing down again, but I managed to kill it during this try, so eventually I didn't even need power within, despite the fact that this very boss battle was the reason why I went to get it. So yeah. Artorias is a fight I always dread. He deals a ton of damage, he's fast, has great range, but at the same time, it's a fight I've done quite a bit. Because of this, I decided to not use power within and just get reacquainted with the fight. By now I realized that some of its attacks I didn't quite remember exactly how to dodge, but there are some others that I definitely do, and thankfully we do have enough stance pressure to be able to knock him out of his buffing animation. So with that in mind, I think I could have taken a couple more risks than I did, but eventually I just decided to play it safe. Weirdly enough, by taking it slow and patient, I beat him in the first try. After picking up both the pendant and the crest key for the next two bosses, I decided to go down the abyss since Calamid is usually the fight I struggle with the most and wanted to leave it for last. Manus proceeded to take that statement personally and promptly ended my life more than a couple of times. I got him down to using his magic attacks just once in these attempts, so I took a break to watch the best cutscene of the game. I know I said Calamid was gonna be last, but after Manus forcibly returning my food up the channel it normally goes out of, I decided to at least give that overgrown lizard a try. It didn't go well. At all. I kept misjudging its attacks, getting caught by the tail end of the hitbox, and much more. To be honest with you, I don't even know what to say about all of these deaths. I'm just gonna shut up and let you watch all of the times that it destroyed me. And yeah, I'm gonna include all of them. Even if it's just a snippet, it will take a while. Precisely because I died so many times. Like, look how long I've been talking for while the deaths are still playing. Like, I am trying to extend the time that I'm talking for as long as I can, to not have this section be like completely silent except for the sound of the game itself. But I am really struggling right now to find all of the words that I need to continuously talk about how badly this fight went. And the thing is, I do know its attack patterns. I should not be getting hit this much, and I shouldn't be dying from all of these things. But the thing is, most of these things are basically a one-shot, especially when I'm using power within and it's taking away a little bit of my health, because I have just enough health to survive maybe 1 or 2 hits. not really two, one hit at most, and some of those hits, that's it. But the thing is, if I use power within, I knock myself down a little bit and I get killed. It took me hours of attempts, both using and not using power within, until I finally managed to get into the groove. I weaved and rolled and made sure to avoid taking weak poke shots every time I could, until finally I managed to down him for good. God, I don't miss this fight ever. With that, it's time to return to the Dark Papa. With nowhere else to run but simply bashing my head against him until I memorized the fight properly, I kept fighting. I took risks and fought aggressively to try and minimize the time I'd have to be in that fight. And once again, you're gonna hear me just yap whatever I can just to keep something in the video, because I'm dying so much to this boss. Like, I'm deliberately trying to speak slowly just so I can cover this entire fight. But you have to understand, I died tens of times. I don't even remember how many it was. At some point I did count them, but I don't no longer remember like how many it was or when actually I counted them. It must have been when I was writing the script or something. But yeah, I forgot to write it down, so I don't really remember how many times I actually did die. If at some point I do mention how many times I died, it's probably because I recorded some of the things first. So if I mention it in the future, just know that that was past me who recorded it, and then I went back and re-recorded some pieces, and now present me no longer remembers how many times it was, because it was a lot of times. And as you can see, most of his attacks, if they hit me, they're like really close to being a one-shot. So yeah, this is already with the optimized armor, or as much as I could optimize it for what I had. Like, everything is max upgraded, everything is like with the highest defense status that I can get. I was trying to maximize for physical damage actually, so yeah, that's how I did. The final attempt took me over 10 straight minutes of fighting to get it done. 10 straight minutes of fighting aggressively, attacking as much as I could, and healing eventually. I mean, I used a lot more heals than I should have. But anyway, with that, the Father of the Abyss is dead, and fuck you, Dusk, for bringing me into this. Only Gwyn remains, and by now, we know the strategy. Of course he's getting parried to death. So yeah, just parry, riposte. God, that damage is awful. Once again, parry, pose, get a little bit of drink. Actually, fuck. That was not supposed to happen. Well, as I've said it before, I suck at this game. And that means that I also suck at micromanaging everything that I need to do. So I was trying to two-hand my sword for the extra damage for the riposte, and then like un-two-hand it to be able to block and parry again. And I kinda mixed my buttons up and I didn't, so I got hit. But yeah, I mean, we all know that I can parry him, right? Well, as I was saying, just parry, stab, drink, repeat unceremoniously. Then our hospital parry him, right? Is defeated, and thus our journey ended. Gosh, you have no idea how happy it made me to finally be done with this run in particular. Like, when I started it, I really thought I was gonna find myself having a pretty leisurely walk through it. Like, if I had known how difficult it would be and how much the damage would drop off, I would not have set the rules where I could not level up health or stamina or anything else except for faith and resistance. Like, what the hell was I thinking? I really thought that this weapon would be decent. So imagine my surprise when it wasn't. It was a piece of garbage. Well, not exactly, not entirely a piece of garbage. Like, it did get me through the game in the end, and at least at the start it was decent, but yeah, the end, horrible. I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave knowing that the Astora Straight Sword does indeed suck major ass. The run itself took a total of 18 hours to complete, so I would say this was considerably worse than the rest of my runs have been. Anyway, thank you.